Good evening, my YouTube viewers. It is Palestine here, and I wanted to make another video for you. You notice I'm not wearing my glasses today. What I normally do is when I'm just running around, I normally don't wear glasses. And when I'm reading or working, I wear glasses for reading and working. And so I can't see because I wear reading glasses at home. I don't wear varifocals at home. I can't see that it's too far away. The reading glasses are too far away. So that's why I'm not wearing glasses at the moment. So I look a little bit unusual because I'm not wearing reading glasses. You know why. In my last video, I talked about my mother's first marriage. Obviously, I don't remember very much about it because I was just a baby. I don't even know how long she was married to my father. I know that she divorced him when she finished beauty school because that's what she said she was going to do. She said she was going to go to beauty school, and then when she finished beauty school, she was going to divorce him, and she kept her promise. And then so basically what happened after that, I have an uncle who was about 5 years younger than my mother. And so he was giving my mother a lift to work. And again, if you've watched my previous videos, I made a video saying that the relationship that my mother had with her mother was fraught with difficulty. And so my mother's mother, who is my grandmother, told my mother that my uncle was too young to be taking on the responsibility of a family, so he was not going to be able to give my mother a lift to work anymore. And this is in Arkansas, where you definitely need a car to get around. And so my mother didn't have any way to get to work because my uncle was not allowed to give her a lift anymore because of her own mother. Her own mother said that to her. And so my mother knew this man. I'm not going to say his name because I can't say the names of the people in my YouTube video, because if I name them, then I could get kicked off YouTube. So I'm not going to say his name, but he was in Little Rock with my mom. And my mom said that she hadn't known him very long, but she decided to go ahead and marry him because she needed a lift to work. She needed to be able to get to work. So she married this man. And she said that to me that the day that she married him, she found out that he had been in prison for 2 years for armed robbery. And then in addition to that, he had written her a letter. I don't know why he wrote her this letter. I don't know if he just wrote the letter and handed it to her, or if he wrote the letter and sent it to her in the post. But he wrote her a letter, and he said to her that if she ever caused his mother one moment's grief, that he was going to cut her heart out or something like that. He was going to do something evil. And my mother said that she kept that letter. She said the letter was up in the attic in the house that she's living in, and she kept that letter. And so she knew that she never could cause his mother even 1 second's grief, heartache. I do remember we moved to Michigan, Lansing, Michigan. And then when we were in Lansing, Michigan, I remember that because we had snow and we were playing in the snow. And the thing that my mother said about this man was he could be really nice, but he could also be really nasty. So she said either he had a split personality or he was on drugs. She didn't know what. And she recalled one incident where she came home. I don't know if she was coming home from work. I don't know where she was coming home from, but she came home, and he told her that he was gonna unalive her. You know, we have to be careful what we say so we don't get kicked off YouTube. And so she didn't know what to do, so she ran into the bedroom and she took the mattress from the bedroom and then she put it against the door to keep him from getting in. And then she rang the operator and she said she didn't even know the number for the police, but she said, "Can you give me the number for the police?" And the lady could tell that she was, you know, just in distress. So the lady said, "Well, I'll put you right through to the police." So the lady put her right through to the police, and then my mother was able to tell the police what our second husband was intending to do. And I do vaguely remember that because the police came to get us and we had to leave. Obviously, my stepfather, our second husband, he wasn't being made to leave. He wasn't being made to go. We had to go, and we had no place to go. And I do remember saying, "I don't want to go. I like him. I don't want to go." But of course, I was just a child. I didn't know what was going on in their marriage. So I do remember that. And I don't remember what happened, but I suppose because my mom had no place to go, I suppose that she went back to him and she had to take us back to him. I also remember how he would give us a spanking every day, that he would line us up and give us a spanking every day. And so that's sort of like where I got used to the physical abuse. I don't think that I was ever really seriously physically abused with my mom and my dad. But this second husband, he would beat us every day. And I remember another time, my sister and I went out with a girl, and the girl's mother was calling her, and she just left us. And me and my sister and I didn't know where we were, so we went knocking on doors, trying to find out where we were. And the police came and got us, and they asked us, "Can you find a home?" And obviously, my mom didn't care. My mom didn't ring the police and report us missing or anything. She didn't care. She was probably happy to be rid of us. But then the police, we were able to identify the house that we lived in. And so the police took us home. And my mother said that this second husband, that he beat us until we passed out. And she let that happen. She let him beat us until we passed out. And those are a few things that I can remember about that marriage because I wasn't very old. And then I think we went back to Little Rock. And I think that my mom told him she wanted a divorce. And he said that she could have a divorce, but he had to be the one to divorce her, that she couldn't divorce him, that he had to divorce her. And then my mom just said she didn't care. She said she didn't care if the frog was getting a divorce. She just wanted a divorce. So, and then I think that when she was going through the divorce, I think he was trying to get custody of my sister and me. I mean, why? Why would this man who was not our father try to get custody of us? Well, I'll tell you why. And the reason why is because my aunt told me that several years later, he was arrested at a McDonald's in North Little Rock for running. I have to be careful what I say so I don't get kicked off YouTube, but for running a ring where minors provide services to adults. And you can come to your own conclusions about what you think it is. And if you think the worst, then that's probably it. And then I asked my aunt, and my aunt said it was in the paper. It was in the Arkansas Gazette. Arkansas had two main newspapers. One was an Arkansas Gazette, and that's the only name that I really remember. And I said, well, what happened to him? And then she just said, well, he'll be taken care of in prison. And she told me what was going to happen to him in prison, but I can't say it on YouTube because I might get kicked out of YouTube. So that's it for my mother's second marriage. It wasn't very long. It was very violent again, you know, and it wasn't a good marriage because now my mom is like embarrassed for people to know that she was married to him. And so in her family tree and in her biography, it says that she was only married 2 times, to my father and my stepfather. But the fact of the matter is that she was actually married 3 times. And I guess that's it. That's all I can say about this second marriage of my mother's. But it was very sinister. And I just wanted to bring to your attention that my mother married a second time just because she didn't have a way to get to work, because her mother would not allow my uncle to give her a lift to work. And so she married this man hoping that she could get a lift to work. And that should just tell you how desperate she was. So even though my mom didn't want children, you do have to have a little bit of empathy for her situation because she wasn't getting any help. I mean, her family should have been helping her, and they weren't. And that's why she did a lot of the things that she did. So I think I'm going to conclude this video because I've talked about my mother's second marriage and how sinister it is. So if you like my video, please like and subscribe. And thank you very much for watching my video. I look forward to making another video for you very soon to talk about some more of my experiences that I have lived through. Thank you.